everybody at home, and welcome to another edition of Stories for Bedtime with your host, Librarian Jackie. That's me. And I have Mr. Bear with me here, too. Hello. Good evening. Now, we are ready for bedtime, right? No? You're not ready for bed? Well, I hope you're ready for a story time. We're going to have a story first before bed. All right, but first we're going to sing our hello song. Can you clap? Good. We're going to clap everybody and say hello. Clap everybody and say hello. Clap everybody and say hello. Clap everybody and say hello, no matter what the weather. And we've been having some beautiful spring weather. It's almost the first day of spring. All right. Now, can you stomp your feet? Let's see you stomp your feet. Stomp, 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 stomp. Good. All right, we're going to stomp everybody and say hello. Ready? Stomp everybody and say hello. Stomp everybody and say hello. Stomp everybody and say hello, no matter what the weather. Good. Okay, now, before bed and when I get up in the morning too, I like to stretch. Can we stretch everybody and say hello? Yes? All right, let's try it. Stretch everybody and say hello. Stretch everybody and say hello. Stretch everybody and say hello, no matter what the weather. Yay! Welcome! Now it's a beautiful evening, and before we go to bed, we're going to have a story. And today we are celebrating Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month, and it's a celebration of the contributions women have made to our country and to the world. It's a special time to recognize the achievements that women have made over the course of history, and these achievements have made our world a better place to live in today. So let's celebrate together. We're going to read a book that celebrates women's history, and if you want to read a book, do you know what you should do? That's right. Clap your hands. Ready? If you want to read a book, clap your hands. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. If you want to read a book, have a listen and take a look. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. Today's book is about a special woman named Katherine. And this is her story. It's called A Computer Called Katherine, and it's written by Suzanne Slade and illustrated by Veronica Miller Jamison. They put the words and the pictures in this book for us. Let's see what it's about. Ooh, do you see all these shapes on the end papers? Do you recognize some of those shapes? I see a circle here, and a parallelogram there, and a cylinder there, and a triangle. And there's some other shapes too. Let's read about Katherine. This is A Computer Called Katherine, How Katherine Johnson Helped Put America on the Moon. Have you ever wanted to go to a moon? The moon? Did you want to be an astronaut? Did you know that there are people who work very hard to make sure that people can get up there to the stars and to the moon? Yeah, let's read about Katherine. Everywhere she went, Katherine counted. She counted her steps to church. She counted the plates on the dinner table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She even tried counting the stars in the sky. 7, 8, 9, 10. Have you ever tried to count the stars in the sky? There are so many of them. That's right. Most important of all, Katherine counted the days until she could start school. Finally, at age 5, she followed her brother hundreds of steps to the 2-room schoolhouse. I think that's her brother. And where's Katherine? There she is. An excellent student, Katherine devoured thick books and added numbers at the speed of light, so the teacher decided she would skip first grade and start in second. But Katherine was such a fast learner, she later skipped fifth grade too, and before you could say, mathematician, magician, she was a grade ahead of her older brother. There's Katherine. Katherine finished 8th grade when she was only 10 years old. Can you believe that? But her town didn't have a high school for black students. Determined to keep learning, she counted the dusty miles, 120 in all, as her family moved closer to a school she could attend. There she took an exciting math class called geometry. It's all about shapes. She learned how points and lines made shapes, triangles, trapezoids, and perfect parallelograms. I see a parallelogram right there. It's kind of a diamond shape. And her love for math grew exponentially. Do you love math? What do you love to learn about? At 15, Katherine started college. That's really early. Wow. She flew through every math class at West Virginia State, so a professor taught harder classes just for her. In advanced geometry, she plotted points on a graph. When she connected the points, they created a beautiful U-shaped curve called a parabola. It was love at first sight. There's the U-shaped curve. Can you see that? It looks like a U. It's called a parabola. Can you say parabola? Parabola. It's fun to say. After graduation, Katherine became a math teacher. Back then, people said women could only be teachers or nurses. Katherine knew that that was wrong as 10 minus 5 equals 3. That's wrong, isn't it? 10 minus 5 equals what? Can you guess? 5. She believed women could be anything, scientists, lawyers, or mathematicians. She's right. So, what did she do? She set out to prove it. Let's see what Katherine did. Katherine discovered a research center in Virginia that was hiring women mathematicians. They were called computers because they made calculations that helped the men engineers design airplanes and flight plans. See, it says Langley Aeronautical Laboratory. That's where they did science to figure out how to fly planes and other flying things. To Katherine, it added up to the perfect job. All day long, she punched buttons on a calculator just like the other women. She solved long math equations just like the other women. She wrote answers on a huge data sheet just like the other women. See all those women? They're working hard on math. But Katherine wasn't like the other women. She asked questions, lots of questions. What were her calculations used for? Why were they important? How did her answers help design airplanes and flights? The men engineers noticed the woman who asked intelligent questions and how quickly she solved difficult math problems. So they asked Katherine to join their space team. Its mission: send America's first astronaut into space. Katherine said yes. Then she discovered that women weren't allowed to attend the group's meetings. Does that make sense? No. She knew this was wrong as 5 times 5 equals 20. 5 times 5 doesn't equal 20. It equals 25. So she asked if she could go. Women don't ever go to those, the engineers replied. Is there a law against it? Katherine asked. No. Do you think that she went to that meeting? Betcha she did. So Katherine showed up at the next meeting, ready to work. Astounded by her geometry skills, the team asked her to calculate when America's first space flight should blast off. Katherine agreed, but first she asked questions like, where should the rocket splash down? How high should it fly? Where or when should it land? All very good questions and important. With that information, Katherine carefully computed the rocket's flight path, a beautiful U-shaped curve. Do you see that U-shaped curve forming? She's drawing it. Do you remember what the U-shaped curve is called? That's right, a parabola. Next, she worked backward to figure out the time it should blast off. Then she began counting the days until launch. There she is. Let's see what happens next. Oh, look at this. Can you see? There's a rocket. On May 5th, 1961, Alan Shepard blasted off. Following Katherine's flight plan, he soared into the silvery sky. 15 minutes later, he splashed down in the Atlantic Ocean, right on schedule and right on target. Right there. Thanks to Katherine. Soon, Americans began dreaming of a longer flight around the entire Earth. To figure out the math for this long, complicated trip, engineers decided to use their new room-sized computer that worked much faster than people. Back then, computers took up a whole room. Did you know that? Yeah. Look at Katherine, hard at work. But astronaut John Glenn trusted Katherine more than a machine. He wouldn't step one foot onto the rocket until she said the computer's calculations were correct. Happy to help, Katherine checked every number, because computers can make mistakes. Katherine was very smart and could figure this out. On February 20th, 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit Earth. It means he went into space, went around and around Earth. Amazing. Then people began wondering if an astronaut could travel all the way to the moon. Both the Soviet Union and the United States wanted to be the first to land there and win the space race. Katherine knew this flight was incredibly long and dangerous. Every calculation would have to be perfect. One math mistake and the rocket could zoom right past the moon. It's a lot of pressure on Katherine. You think she did it? Let's read. NASA's computer hummed and computed a flight path to the moon and back. Katherine went to work too, double-checking the machine's calculations. But this was the most complicated geometry problem she'd ever seen. One of the points, the spacecraft, was flying incredibly fast. Her target, the moon, was constantly circling Earth while spinning. Some people thought the problem was too difficult to solve, but Katherine knew that was wrong. As wrong as 25 divided by 5 equals 4. It doesn't equal 4, it equals 5. So she's looking at how many miles per hour? 2,040 miles per hour. And the orbit of the moon around the Earth and the moon rotation, 10.3 miles per hour. And then the orbit is 2,288 miles per hour. Can you see? Wow. She calculated and computed. She plotted and planned. She created a bold, brave path all the way to the moon and back. Look at Katherine. Does she look nervous? She does, because it's a big responsibility what she's done. 10, 9, ignition sequence starts. Heart racing, Katherine leaned close to the small television screen. Ooh. 7, 6, 5. She held her breath as powerful flames exploded on the launch pad. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! The rumbling rocket slowly rose above the ground, above the smoke, above the clouds, and then disappeared into ink-black space. Four days later, as Neil Armstrong took his first steps on the moon, Katherine smiled and began to count. Look, she looks so proud here. She did it. And here is a picture of the real Katherine Johnson. She's right there. And some interesting information about the lunar landing. And Katherine says, girls are capable of doing everything men are capable of doing. She also said, if you want to know, ask a question. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Remember that. Questions are always good. And this book has a wonderful timeline and some more information back here. I'll show you. We're not going to read through it all. There's an author and illustrator's note too. But that is Katherine's story. Thank you for reading with me. That was a lot of fun. Now, let's see. Oh, I wanted to tell the adults in the room, this met our core competency standard or goal of the day for history and social science, mathematics, and science. And now we're going to do something fun, okay? We're going to get moving. We're going to pretend to go to the moon. Should we do that? We're going to sing Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. How about that? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a countdown and a blast off at the end. So when we say blast off, you're going to jump as high as you can, okay? Now, adults, if you have a little one, you can always lift them up, okay, for the blast off. All right, let's sing it. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Now let's climb. If you'd like to take a trip, come aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Can we count down from 5? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Did you make it to the moon? Good job. Come down, astronauts. Come on down. Now, should we do far, far, far? We're going to the stars? Let's try it. And then we're going to count down from 10 this time, okay? Let's get in our rocket ships. Ready? Zoom, or far, 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 we're going to the stars. Far, 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 we're going to the stars. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Far, 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 we're going to the stars. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! How high did you get? Did you get to the stars? Come on down. All right. Now, how about the sun? It would be nice to be warm right now, right? It's a little chilly. Let's go to the sun. We're going to sing fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun, and we'll have that countdown again. Remember, get ready for that blast off. All right, let's go. Fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun. Fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blast off! Yay! Come back down. All right. Okay. Was that fun? Yes, that was a lot of fun. But now we have to get ready to go to bed. And what do you need to go to bed? Do you wear your astronaut suit? Not to bed. Do you wear a mask to bed? No, take that off. Go to bed. All right. What would you wear? Would you wear pajamas? Yeah, that's right. We're going to wear pajamas to bed. And we will say goodnight to everyone. And let's sing our goodbye song, all right? Good. Now we're going to sing Now We Rise Up. So I want everybody to stand up and put your hands on your knees, all right? And we'll rise up. Now we rise up, up, up. Now we go down, 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 all the way down. Touch your toes. Did you touch them? Good. Now we rise up, up, up. And now we turn round and around. Can you turn around? Good job. Now we all clap, clap, clap. And now we all get down as low as you can. We're going to jump. Now we all touch the sky. Now we all take a bow because we did such a great job this evening. And now we all wave goodbye. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. And I will see you next time for Stories for Bedtime. In the meantime, go ahead and go to our website, www.santacruzpl.org, for more fun, more programs, things to do, books to check out, movies to check out, all sorts of things. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye.